Perfect. All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, for another live edition of Draft Day Preppers. I am your co-host, Evan Roosh, and with me, as always, we have
Cody Marenthal,
Schrader.
C_Mar54 on Twitter.
and then Drew Schrader at BreadPack17. You can find me at Whatevskis, and then you can also find us on Twitter at Draft Preppers and Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Draft Day Preppers as well. Today, or during this live stream, we're just going to be talking about some waiver wire pickups. We're going to make it a quick 15 minutes-ish, and then get into recording our long episode, which will be released tomorrow. But first off, let's just start with some quarterback waiver wire options. For me, the first guy that really sticks out is gonna be Carson Wentz.
Oh yeah, dude, he looked nuts. He put up a lot of points. He's gonna catch everyone's eyes.
Yeah, he was very surprising based on what we've seen last year with
all his receivers. Like I don't know, he did good.
Threw for 313 yards and 4 touchdowns. And he's going up against another weak defense in Detroit. So I think that's almost a layup with considering also they just don't look like they're very interested in being a run-heavy offense either. Mm-hmm. So and they pass a lot.
Yeah, I like that. Drew, you want to go your second?
Okay, one guy I was looking at, I mean, in one of my other leagues, people just destroyed quarterback. There's no one left. So if you're looking at, like, no one, I looked through these stats because I didn't get to see the game, but Mariota freaking ran for 72 yards and a rushing touchdown.
Leading rusher.
That's fantasy points right there. Like, if he can keep doing stuff like that, maybe you don't play him. Like against the Rams, doesn't look good, but if you're really strapped for QBs, I like those rushing quarterbacks and put up a good stat line.
And they did it against the Saints.
Yeah.
Too. Like, that's legit offense or legit defense.
Mm-hmm.
So
100%. And he's like, they're always most likely going to be down too. So they're going to be probably airing it out or not running the ball with a running back, most likely.
Yeah, I really like those. I like that.
All right, I'm gonna go with Kirk Cousins. He might be on some teams in some leagues. He looked great against the Packers. This new offense that they have just seems like Justin Jefferson's gonna be open like all the time. I kind of picked like the easiest like guy to pick up from the waiver wire if you need a quarterback. They're going against Philly. They're in Philly. It's Monday night. Kirk usually is good on primetime game.
I was about to say primetime game.
So
Kirk.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean,
trust them.
The Eagles just gave up 35 points to the Lions, so I'm assuming another high-scoring game from the Vikings.
Do you want to go ahead and start us off with running back so I don't take the everyone's option?
Yeah,
you got him.
Running back, I'm going to go Rex Burkhead.
Oh.
Texans.
You could not pay me any money to take Rex Burkhead.
Really?
The thing is, it's a very biased take because if Dameon Pierce had these same numbers last week, I mean, I am just beating the drum for Dameon Pierce, but I do not like Rex Burkhead in the matchup, and
who are they playing this
I'm
week?
sure he's a fine guy, but really don't like the fantasy value.
Denver?
I mean,
Sean Penny kind of ran out of him.
Yeah, I mean, he got going a little bit. Rex Burkhead got more carries and third down usage when he was playing with the Texans.
Yeah, I saw that.
72% of snaps.
I didn't watch the game. I'm a big red zone guy on one TV, one game guy on the other. Didn't watch it.
Your setup was so cool. Why was the TV so
it was an electrical thing. But anyway, yeah, I mean the usage is just crazy. He's always going to get the third down touches. Again, it's just a guy to pick up on waiver wires. Doesn't mean you have to play him next week, but it's a guy to monitor because his usage was so much more than Dameon Pierce's.
Mm-hmm.
And they're another team that will most likely be down and passing a lot. So I expect him to have more snaps, probably consistently, than Dameon Pierce.
I like it. Mine, which should come as kind of no surprise based off injuries, is Jeff Wilson Jr.
Yeah.
He's currently rostered in, just take a guess, over under 10% of leagues.
Over.
I'm going to say over.
In ESPN, he's currently rostered in 3.8% of leagues.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was looking at him like before, right right after the
Yeah,
draft.
he's been picked up in some of my more competitive leagues.
Oh yeah.
And after the injury to Elijah Mitchell, the other 49ers running back, Jeff Wilson Jr. saw 11 attempts, which I think is absolutely great. He didn't do a ton with his running work, with only getting 22 yards.
It's a shitty game though.
Shitty weather for sure.
That Soldier Field is just, how is that allowed to be an
They got a new
NFL
turf
stadium?
though.
Did it come pre-soaked?
It was new turf as of like a week ago. It seemed like it should have happened way before that. I'm really a random, but I'm opposed to them moving on a Soldier Field, but man, that field is like not good at all. It's not NFL standard.
I just don't get, how can you not just replace it? Like, to me, it doesn't seem like that tough of a thing, considering they had all off season. In like the last 5 years, it's been players have just gotten injured on it, and they complained about it. Like, just switch it. I don't understand it. But Jeff Wilson Jr., running back for the 49ers, I think he's set to take over a lot of the work and is a very viable fantasy waiver wire addition.
He's the goal line back, and it's going to bump up Debo.
Yep.
Which I love.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's when Debo went off last year. It's when Elijah Mitchell went down. I got him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Also, with that backfield, if you want to pick up Tyrion Davis-Price or Jordan Mason, just leave him on the bench and just kind of see what happens.
Yeah.
But Jeff Wilson Jr. is definitely the pick.
See, I'm actually not too much of a fan of like Davis Price, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, I think they aren't either.
He was inactive like last week, and they carried Jordan Mason. Again, I'm not really sure if
He's an undrafted free agent.
He's UFDA for sure, but I mean he was active last week, and Price wasn't. So I also look at that. If you're looking for a guy to stash, maybe with the whole injury situation with their backfield, Jordan Mason, I would take over Price.
Sure.
Price.
Yeah, if you just want to stash him, check it out. All right, I'll get to the other big one that everyone's thinking about is Steelers backfield. Jalen Warren. We don't know what this guy is really, but Najee, there's rumors that he's going to be back for next week, I heard, but I don't believe it.
No, I don't
And
believe that either.
if it's a Liz Frank injury, he's so screwed. Go and trade him immediately. I'm terrified of him.
Honestly, trade for him. Like,
Trade for him?
if you had like a random, like a Clyde Edwards
Sure.
pop off, I think that's great trade value.
Okay, there you go.
And it's honestly one that I think is relatively fair, because if you're trading Clyde, you probably got him in the 8th, 9th.
Yeah.
So you have other options. So that's a great way to just upgrade your roster just very easily.
Sure. I think this injury for him is going to linger, though.
Yeah.
I looked at Jalen Warren's schedule, though, the next few weeks. It's not looking too hot, but we'll see how Najee does. He's definitely like a stash guy on your bench, because we know Steelers use workhorse backs.
Yes.
So it's just going to be him.
He was decleating motherfuckers like all game.
He was, yeah.
I did,
He was
yeah.
nuts.
Nothing to do with fantasy. He was just awesome to see.
All right, Cody, you want to start us off, or Drew, you want to start us off with receivers? Otherwise, Cody can go.
Yeah, I do. I'll go with this is a surprising one, but he's probably top on everyone's list, was Curtis Samuel.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'm
Available in, he's currently rostered in 8.7% of leagues.
I don't know if his workload's gonna keep up, but it was sick to see him getting rushing attempts.
Yeah.
Like he was like a little mini Debo. Like, I don't know. It was like, that's just packing on fantasy value.
He did that a lot when he was on the Panthers.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yep.
Ron Rivera's the coach, right?
Yep.
So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know. I like him a lot.
Yeah, they have a whole. If they're giving him carries, that's part of the plan for their offense, and so it's always a plus for guys.
Should I just grab the other one in there thing too quick?
On Washington?
Yeah,
Sure.
just saying. Jahan Dotson too. If he's on waivers,
He's not.
Yeah,
He was on
yeah,
the bench.
yeah. Jahan Dotson looked good too. So, two guys
He
you
looked
can
really good.
pick
Wow.
up.
Yeah, Jahan Dotson only rostered in 56% of ESPN leagues. So you have a for real option just sitting there for free.
Yeah, you look good.
Yeah, or if you want to trade for him, that's another option too.
Oh, currently taking bids.
Yeah.
I'll trade him.
I guess I'll go with my receiver next. It's a pretty simple one based on injuries. It's going to be Joshua Palmer of the Chargers.
Yep.
Keenan Allen, hamstring injury. Hamstring injuries linger. Joshua Palmer might have been a guy that you wanted to keep on your bench anyway, just to see how he did, knowing that the Chargers offense is going to be really good. They would like him a lot. I think they're planning on featuring him even with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. So, yeah, he is rostered in 35% of leagues. I expect that to probably go up to 50%.
What was his
most
stat?
likely.
What was his stat line list?
The other day, let me go check that real
I don't know.
quick.
I like him, though.
He had 4 receptions for 53 yards.
Sure.
He's targeted 7 times. I think Keenan Allen went out at halftime.
Sure. He could be. You could toss him in as a flex in this Chiefs game.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna be a shootout.
Already have who you got thinking for receiver.
So I kind of have a couple guys
Ooh,
here.
actually,
I got a couple.
I mean,
more.
if we're
You wanna
just
do one
'cause
more
I'm-
round.
Sure, I mean, we can do is no, it's our show. So.
Yeah. All right.
For my first wide receiver, if you're really in a pinch, I think this is a little bit tough because he can also absolutely kill you. But Robby Anderson, currently only rostered in 37% of ESPN leagues. He got 8 targets in that game 1.
I think he was one of my dart throws.
He was one of your dart throws.
Humble brag.
Ooh, yeah, just like get off the shoulder.
Yeah.
He had one big play for the touchdown, though, right?
Sure, so that's why he's a definite boomer bust guy. But I mean, 8 targets is 8 targets. When you're looking at some other people to compare him to, I mean, would you rather have Robby Anderson going up against the New York Giants, or like Russell Gage going up against the Saints?
Well, Russell Gage is a non. I don't really like him.
Yeah, or just like to give a
Sure,
basis
like
of,
Corey
like-
Davis or some shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So I do think Robby Anderson is a viable option if you're looking to, I don't know, if, for example, if you have to come back from like a matchup that you probably know you're going to lose, if you're projected to lose by like 15-ish points, this is where you kind of have to swing for the fences.
Yeah.
Like Robby Anderson's a swing for the fences kind of player.
He's going to get a few shots again, probably.
Yeah. Right. So you kind of have to look at him like that. But
And then a guy I would probably go with would be Sterling Shepard of the Giants.
I agree, dude.
He's only rostered in 2.5% of fantasy leagues. That's pretty nuts.
that's surprising.
I know, like a lot of people, including myself, were high on Wan'Dale Robinson. He got hurt. And I know Kadarius Toney.
Yeah.
He's a good
Just
fantasy player.
vanished.
He didn't get any work.
Vanished.
I was
He
completely
seems-
wrong on him.
He
Sterling
seems
Shepard
to be
all
in
the way.
I feel like he seems to be in like the doghouse.
Yes, for sure. He got like one rush, right?
He got like a quick screen and he took it for like I think a decent amount of yards. But
All right.
Dude,
yeah, it's pretty surprising that he's only picked up in 2.5% of fantasy leagues. I would definitely at least keep him on the end of my bench because bad team, gonna need to throw. Galladay, he hasn't really done much for them.
is he in?
Other than take all their cap space.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Sterling Shepard could end up being like the number one option for that offense, and he's not in many leagues at all.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Do you have any more wide receiver?
Yeah, I got 2 more.
Go for it.
Should I say them?
Yeah.
Okay. My next one that's like probably half of you guys will have him on your teams and stuff, but Julio, Chris Godwin's out. He was getting the deep bombs. Like, I don't know. I think you can pick him up. I think he'd be just a decent flex play.
Mm-hmm.
He looked good. Brady was just bombing it to him. But my other really big dart throw is kind of a pick up and stash. I'm sure some people will drop him, but Christian Watson, he had a dud game, but holy crap though, he got so many snaps. He was like second on the team in routes run after Sammy Watkins, and LaFleur's just gonna force the 2 on the field because they don't have any other options. Like, he's an athlete, he's gonna learn. If you want to keep someone on your bench, he can. I don't know. I think he can pop off later in the year.
You have no idea how loud the place I was watching that Packers game got after he dropped it.
And if he caught it, he'd be top on our list.
No, he'd be the one person that we'd honestly talk about. We're talking about Rodgers even having like a viable streaming or being a streamer for this upcoming week, or like having a good week. So I mean, that one play would have been 12 fantasy points.
Sure. So he would have been on everyone's list if he caught that. And
right.
It was so easy.
And they used him in a couple end rounds. I think a quick out.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, you could even throw Romeo in that category. I know for most leagues he's probably not on rosters.
Right.
We're in a lot of leagues with Packer fans, so he's on rosters, but him also too.
Moving on to the tight end position, then my pick, I think, almost has to be Tyler Higbee. Tyler Higbee, tight end for the Los Angeles Rams, only rostered in 49% of leagues, so he's still definitely out there.
Mm-hmm.
He may not have produced the greatest week 1 performance you've ever seen, but the man had 11 targets.
Yeah,
that's absolutely incredible for tight ends, and that's even incredible for wide receivers. But 11 targets, I don't know if that's just game plan strictly, but I mean, 11 targets is 11 targets.
Yeah.
And we were talking about a tight end landscape that there's just no one.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone in week 1, other than like your top guys, even the top guys.
Mark Andrews didn't even do that great.
Kyle Pitts did nothing.
It was Travis Kelce and no one else that people drafted.
I would think
look for Tyler Higbee.
Part of the 11 targets was like not getting Allen Robinson involved at all.
For whatever,
he better be involved next week.
If you're looking for a tight end, I mean, targets is a great place to look.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with. This might be a little gamesmanship. I don't know, maybe if you guys have him down, but I'm gonna go Taysom Hill. He caught one pass. He had 4 rushes for 81 yards, and it's not like Jameis looked great, so you might be able to get some quarterback points out of your tight end spot. Gamesmanship.
That better be shut off for our league, or I'll flip out because I had him last year, and you guys and I wasted a waiver wire pick on him.
You did, yeah.
And you guys made me just drop him. I was like, if someone picks him up,
I mean,
I'm gonna flip.
I'll say him, and then I can go with another one too. He flashed a little bit. He had 1 main catch, but Hayden Hurst with the Bengals. Joe Burrow looked terrible that game.
5 turnovers.
Yeah. He got 5 targets. Hayden Hurst did 3 catches, 1 big catch along the side. But yeah, it's some guy I'm looking for. High-powered offense. They're kind of looking for answers, at least after week 1.
Especially if T. Higgins' concussion's still out, like his toe tap on the side when he caught that ball was sick. He got 3 toe taps. He was like a little ballerina out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's a very impressive athlete considering he's a tight end, and they're typically those big bruiser guys.
My tight end is Gerald Everett. I actually picked him up last week for one of my leagues, which was sweet.
He was involved quite a bit.
Yeah, and Keenan Allen out against the Chiefs. Zach Ertz scored against them last week. Garbage time, but still did it. High-powered offense. I think he's definitely a guy that you can just toss in there if you're streaming tight ends.
Yep. I got a couple more.
Me too.
Robert Tonyan. He's kind of the same thing of Packers are kind of looking for answers. He has some rapport with Rodgers. He only got 4 targets last week, but I expect that to go up with Rodgers being comfortable with someone he knows.
Mm-hmm.
And also he's coming off like a torn ACL, so maybe they kind of like took him a little bit slower. Might take a little bit to get going, but it's someone to look for sure.
I think everyone else probably saw him. I think you guys should probably stay away from O.J. Howard, though.
Yeah, 2 catches, 2 tutties. That's a little.
Yeah, it was a little fluky.
And
looks
they're the
nice.
same plays, like seamer up, but just different sides.
Yeah.
He only played 17% of snaps.
Yeah.
But, if he keeps getting those, he might get more play time.
It's something to monitor.
Yeah,
see if his snaps go up.
I don't know. Keep an eye on him, but I wouldn't waste your waiver wire pick on him. I don't think that's happening every week.
No. All right, awesome. Well, that concludes our waiver wire show for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll be doing this format for the different waiver wire weeks. So we'll typically do this maybe Monday or Tuesday and release the show either on Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on scheduling. But again, you can find us at Draft Preppers and then at Draft Day Preppers on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And until next time, aka tomorrow when our full episode releases, stay prepped.